The views and opinions on this show do not necessarily reflect the views of ESPN Tucson 1490 AM, 94.9 HD Channel 4, or the Arizona Lotus Corporation.
Spears and Ali, weekday morning 7 to 9 on 1490 AM, 94.9 HD4 ESPN Tucson.
Out of time, they pulled off the shot. We're going to overtime. And Mr. Backer, you're quite prophetic.
What's happening? Spears and Ali Overtime, Apple, Spotify, and YouTube. We are presented by Tucson Federal Credit Union, the Volpe team at Nova Home Loans, and Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. We're back doing another overtime episode. Got plenty to discuss. Ali, anything that's on your mind this week? We've already got through your pet peeves.
Yeah.
And honestly, you changed a lot of people's lives, including my own. You had a very epic rant on reply all. Don't be that guy. Don't be the reply all guy. And if you're the sender, do the considerate thing and just be CC everybody. Well, when I was crafting an email this week to get all the people that I work with involved, and I wanted them to be a part of the email chain, I BCC'd them. I didn't include them in the to category. So thank you, Ali, for changing my life. And I'm sure a lot of people feel the same.
Really proud of you, man.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Just the smallest things just make our world a better place. And BCCing people when it's a group email, that's a very considerate thing to do.
Heck yeah.
And now you know what's going to happen? You're not going to get, thanks. Justin, I'm out of town. I can't be there. Or anything.
Well, Justin still might. He crafted the email.
Well, he might get it, yeah. But the rest of the people, you were a good human being to the rest of the people that you sent it to. So,
and they don't even know that, and they never will.
I mean,
it's a thankless job.
It's a good for you, man. Just sometimes you have to seek out the light and shy away from the darkness, and you certainly did that.
So, thank you for changing my life. What was another thing that Ollie ranted about?
We talked about don't be your kid's best friend, like actually parent them, and it's okay to use regular voices with your kids, right? You can talk to them like a human being and not like oh, Justin, did you spill a little spaghetti on you? You want me to get you a new t-shirt? Like, that's setting them up for failure. And Dad, on this episode, in honor of Father's Day being next week, not this week.
Not this week.
But hey, get started early. Little less cussing out of me on this overtime, because I was fired up last week and it was too much gratuitous cussing.
Comments.
Yeah, it's just I might drop something here or there, but it won't be. It was too much.
We promise to watch our fucking language on this episode.
Yes. Well done.
So if you hear Ali pull out the Joe Pesci from Home Alone, where he's like,
yeah. That's
for you, Mo.
I was pretty much Joe Pesci from Goodfellas last week.
Yes.
So
yes,
maybe a little balance. The right cuss word at the appropriate time.
Timing is everything, man.
Exactly. It's it has its place, but then too much of it is
cussing.
White noise.
It's like a nice
noise.
Seasoning for your sentence.
Yeah, it's the paprika to the point you're making.
Nice garnish.
Yes.
I definitely use it more like salt. So my apologies.
Yeah.
Really has that flavor.
Yep.
All right. So what we got in store for this week in the sports world? Yes, last week was pretty much celebrating the life that is Bill Walton, tragically passing away at 71 years old. And I mean, who knew that he was fighting cancer, right? And speaking of tragic passings, that was unexpected. Larry Allen, the Hall of Fame offensive lineman for the Dallas Cowboys, who helped them win some Super Bowls in the 90s. He unfortunately passed away at 52 years old.
Yeah,
so,
man, 52.
52.
On a family vacation
in Mexico.
Man, that's just the worst, man.
I mean, it could have been the best for him.
Maybe, but this too young. And I don't know what kind of shape Larry Allen was in later. I mean, a lot of offensive linemen, you see guys like Alan Faneca for the Steelers and Casey Hampton, who was a nose guard.
They slimmed down.
They just, basically lost a human being.
Evan Britton is like that too.
Yeah.
Was he sick? Did he have a heart attack? What happened?
I don't know what happened with Larry Allen, honestly.
Yeah. I am guessing, I'm guessing with something coronary. Sometimes you can even be healthy, but you have blockages in your heart and you don't get tested. So it's something you really have to do. I had a friend and his younger brother is probably a better buddy of mine from high school. I mean, he was, I think, late 40s. And this guy played for, like, he was on the UNLV basketball team with, Larry Johnson and, Anthony and
Greg
Anthony, Stacey Augmon.
Tark.
His, he was on the bench. He was a walk-on, but he was on that team. Great shape, restaurateur in Manhattan Beach. And, they're sitting around the couch at Christmas and he goes to sleep and that was it. Never woke up. So, we say it and it's cliches about like live every day to its fullest and tomorrow's never promised. But, speaking of Bill Walton, of all the great things that came from Bill Walton, all the great sayings, and all the John Woodenisms that I use daily, to be honest with you, the one thing that really resonated with me is, learn from your past, dream about tomorrow, and make today your masterpiece. And that was the one that, like, I am going to really hold on to from Mr. Walton.
Yeah. It's a positive outlook on life. And I agree with you, Ollie. I've ever since hearing that, that's really have changed my perspective. Bill Walton passing away has kind of made me rethink some things about life. Hearing about his selfishness and also being connected with people. We all get busy, right? We're all just workaholics. We're always just grinding. But when you're around people in that moment, connect with them, look them in the eye, have a sincere conversation with them. Don't shrug them off, essentially. Because, Bill Walton, I'm sure, has been in many situations where he could easily shrug people off, but he always figured out a way to connect with someone. And just from my personal interactions with Bill Walton and then hearing all the stories and hearing how Bill Walton's, hearing about his MO, how he just went about life. I'm going to be honest with you, the last week and a half, last 2 weeks, it's completely changed my life.
Well, good, man. I'm glad that resonated with you, some of those things. So there's a silver lining from that. It's, it's like you reflect on things and maybe you become self-aware and you're either getting better every day or you're getting worse. There's no such thing as staying the same, right? You guys have heard me, and a lot of things that I, on the precipice of Father's Day, one of the things that I tell my kids over and over again is, connections is the secret to life. Making real, genuine connections with people. And you guys are both good at it, as I'm talking about it, and Justin's on his phone, which is a little bit funny.
Well, no,
it's a little ironic, but it's like
I'm the Arizona football beat reporter, and Arizona football is tweeting out a bunch of stuff.
It is. All right. Well, hey, maybe we have breaking news.
So
no. So
I didn't even know.
Yeah. I mean, you got to admit it was kind of funny.
It is.
Timing was, yeah. So
timing is everything.
But yeah, timing's everything. But I think that making genuine connections with people and having relationships, and you have having a huge circle, and within that huge circle, smaller circles based on how close you are with people and the trust factor makes life just more joyous, right?
Absolutely.
And less lonely, which is good because loneliness sucks, right? So do we have breaking news from U of A football?
No, they're just announcing signings that we've already known about, guys that are in the transfer portal. So the two quarterbacks, Adam DeMonte from NAU and Anthony Garcia, the transfer from San Jose State.
Okay.
They've officially announced those guys as the backup quarterbacks, because we all know who QB1 is.
Yeah.
Mr. Noah Fafita.
Jaden Delora.
No question.
Jaden's actually playing for the San Antonio Brahmas.
Is he now?
The UFL team.
He's not starting though.
No,
right?
I think he's like third
backup.
string or something like that. But
well, you guys laugh about it, but think about last year Arizona football. I mean, the guy that was the head coach, if it wasn't for an ankle injury at Stanford, right? And I think actually we got a transfer portal guy who was in on that play.
Lance Kennelly. He was chasing down Jaden Delora right behind him.
Universe is undefeated, man. Anyway, if it wasn't for that, he was so obstinate about who his number one guy was. Noah Fifita would not have seen the field last year.
Yeah.
Noah Fifita would have transferred to, well, he probably wouldn't have got the offer from Bama, but.
Well, he just the little things in life that happen that change the trajectory of the future. You just never know, right?
They call that the butterfly effect.
Yeah, butterfly effect.
Exactly. So, I mean, he was so dogged about who his number one quarterback was, despite the fact that, and even after that, I mean, we lose that game to Stanford, in my opinion, if Noah Fifita doesn't come in the game.
Yeah.
And then Noah Fifita's got to go up against USC in LA and Washington as his first 2 starts. Played magnificently. We should have beat USC in LA.
Yeah,
that one, that
sucked.
Go for 2, man. Right? Go for 2. So, but still wouldn't name him as number one quarterback when it was like, it's funny, Justin, you asked him that question every press conference pretty much, and he just would not say Noah Fifita, we're making the transition.
Yeah.
Noah's been playing great. We're not going to make a move right now. Noah's number. He could have said we had 1 and 1A, but Noah's going to be the 1, and the other guy, Jaden Delora, is going to be 1. Could have said a lot of things, but
Jaden knew he was talking to the Huskies.
Yeah,
he would do his Bobby Cannavale face. They always do.
I know. It's just snarky.
We got 2 quarterbacks right now.
Sweaty.
And he mentioned how
other S words.
They went 3-1 with Jaden Delora as the starter. Like, you got to look at it because it was like a few weeks into Noah as the guy. As I shake my camera, and he was like, yeah, Noah, that he's 2-2 as a starter. Jaden is 3-1 as a starter, and I'm like,
shut up.
Hold on now.
Yeah.
One of those wins was because of Noah Fifita.
Right.
He came in and took over the game because if Jaden Delora if he still played in that game, Arizona would have lost.
Yeah.
Offense sputtered in the second half. They had no rhythm whatsoever. And that was when Jaden Delora got removed from the game because of his injury. That was because he was scrambling on 3rd and long, gets tackled out of bounds, and then Arizona has to punt it away. And I truly believe if Jaden Delora was still the quarterback at Stanford, Arizona would have lost that game.
9-3, not counting the Alamo Bowl win, right? We lose at Stanford. We lose at Colorado, right? We maybe beat Utah because that was one of those games where it's just like the good fortune snowball.
Yeah.
I mean, I was walking around the suites with, all my buddies, Arizona fans. And those moments in life where you're like, I can't believe the great fortune. This is great. Like everything is going our way. So maybe we win the Utah game.
We get smoked by USC.
We lost to USC in like 3 overtimes.
I understand that.
We
but
still lose.
We wouldn't have gone anywhere.
I'm just talking about wins and losses. So at best, right? At best, we go 7-5 with Jaden Delora instead of 9-3. And I am using the guy that used to coach here's name and optimistic about the future with Noah Fifita. Everything changes. Everything. So, but I think we're in a great place with Brent Brennan. I really like him. The guy isn't like, I don't want to say this because I said this last week, I think on Overtime about being an Arizona person and not an interloper and not coaching this for the next job. And literally the 2 days after, I'm walking into High Corbett Field and I get a call from Laura Ianello's husband, who's a really good dude. Jeff works for SeatGeek, great dude. And he's like, so you've heard, right? And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. I just invited you to the Sugar Skulls game Saturday. You're coming? He's like, what? Because my girlfriend and Laura are really good friends.
Yeah.
So they had this conversation.
Weren't they teammates?
They were teammates. I believe so. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
They were teammates. Yes. So I'm like, so yeah, I heard what you're coming. Like you guys can make it. He's like, no, man, you're good. You're a good lawyer, man. You play things off. I'm like, Jeff, I do, but I don't know what you're talking about. And it goes, we're out of here. I'm like, what do you mean we're out of here? You guys going on vacation? He's like, no, man, Laura's taking the job at Texas. And I'm like, okay, number one, I'm bummed because you guys are a great family. You're great in Tucson.
You moved right next door to him.
I moved 6 houses down from them. I was really looking forward to buying my outdoor patio furniture and having them over for drinks, barbecue. Man, I need somebody to buy that house that I like. But
we get Levi Wallace, make it his Tucson home.
Oh, that'd be awesome. But
still get that patio furniture.
Yeah, I'm still getting. Yeah, this weekend I'm going to House of Furniture off Oracle by the Tucson Mall.
House of
House of
Furniture.
Yeah, shout out to Tom Tudor, owner of House of Furniture. I like that guy.
He'll
give you a good deal. Go there.
Shout out.
Yeah, shout out.
What a name.
Tom Tudor.
Tom Tudor.
No, not
name.
Tom Tudor. House of Furniture.
House of Furniture.
What should we call this house where we have all this furniture?
You know what, man? Sometimes keep it simple.
Kiss.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. And it's like, what should we call it? Let's call it Chantal. Like, why would you call it Chantal? You're selling outdoor furniture and furniture. Why don't you just call it, hey, we got a shitload of furniture, right?
So bump down, we got a shitload of furniture. It reminds me of like there's this like wedding company.
Write themselves.
They do. We got a shitload of furniture and we're giving you the greatest deals. We got to get this stuff out of here. Come to a shitload of furniture because if you need furniture, really good furniture, we got a shitload. On Oracle and La Cañada.
You're never gonna forget it.
Call me crazy. I call myself Ali.
You're not gonna forget it though.
No.
Like where do you get a shitload of furniture? Just like people are always smart whenever they have company names and they started with an A. I guess it doesn't really matter because nobody uses phone books anymore. But back in the day,
yeah, you're right. There was a lot of AAA, something. You're absolutely right. So back to my point. The other thing that I was thinking as I'm walking into High Corbett Field to watch Arizona play baseball. Play Grand Canyon. And I'm like, I wonder if Justin and Andrew are going to give me crap about this. I had just said, Justin, look at all the coaches at the University of Arizona right now. Got Arizona people. They played at Arizona, won national championships. Arizona. I actually named Laura Iannello as one of the bedrock Arizona coaches. And 2 days later, it's like, oh yeah, I'm out of here. So I'm like, shit.
That Texas money's different.
Yeah. And look,
it's bigger apparently.
Look, man, I looked at the Texas, like just women's golf, like how many coaches they have. She's got 2 full-time assistants. She's got a director of operations. I mean, coaching these days, I have talked to coaches at the University of Arizona. I'm not going to give you names, but some of the at the highest levels they coach at, and they absolutely hate their jobs right now because of all the things, because they're employers now, right? And it's all the NIL money. And it's like, how do I take care of KJ Lewis and Jaden Bradley who are coming back? And then I got this transfer portal guy that's coming in and, is he going to disrupt team chemistry? Think about having to can you pay somebody more for coming in for a year? I mean, like as an employer, if I bring in a lawyer and I've got a guy that's been there for 10 years or a woman for 10 years and she's been awesome and she's a great lawyer and loyal and dedicated and wears the black and gold F&M with pride. And then I bring a lawyer, same stature, same experience, same quality. And I'm like, that person is going to be making $25,000 more than you. You can understand how that would create some dissension.
It's my whole year right there.
Yeah. 3 years of law school, buddy. All you got to do is take the LSAT. So, yeah,
I'm okay.
I don't want to put in the work, but I like to be paid more. We get
a lot of that was. I appreciate my soul.
You can do good work as a lawyer.
I want to see the first lawyer to get somebody off wearing a band T-shirt.
Yeah.
I want you.
Sounds so dirty.
Or you could do like estate work for people that they want to make sure that their kids are going to be okay when something may happen to them. You can do corporate work with mergers and acquisitions. Somebody's taking all this time to build this company, and now somebody's going to come in and give them, a lot of money to buy this company from them, and it's going to be great for their family.
Mergers and acquisitions.
M&A, baby.
It's one of my favorite Sopranos episodes.
M&A, baby.
M&A. Not as fun as TNA, but M&A still good.
Yep.
So anyway, I was like, man,
T&E.
If you're going to, the quality, so this is a double-edged sword though. So you're going to have more resources at a place like Texas. There's more money in Austin. There just is. And a lot of the things that, our coaches have to do, and hopefully it changes with Desiree Reed-Francois, our new athletic director, with NIL and all that. Hopefully there's more support from the athletic department and kind of taking that off their plate. I think that's going to happen. I think that's going to go internal. But you can just coach and you can recruit and you have the resources to get the best players. So she's going to have that at Texas. Now, the double-edged sword, Justin, is You know, like with Spider-Man, with great power comes great responsibility. With more resources comes great expectations. So think about this. The guy that resigned, I'm going to do air quotes, the coach, I think his name was Brian Murphy, was the coach at Texas. He resigned on Friday. Chris Del Conte, a boss, by the time he resigned, already had Laura as his coach. And so
a lot of these athletic directors / presidents, I feel like they already have their coach in mind.
They should.
Like if they're just like, if this person were to leave, this would be the first person that I'm contacting. I feel like that's across the board for all sports.
It's not, Justin.
It's not.
The good athletic directors do that. But no, I mean, it's astonishing. Like if you were to hear some of what I hear with athletic directors, and it's like, okay, what if your coach leaves? What's your plan B? Oh, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. It's astonishing. Chris Del Conte is what I would consider top 10%, maybe top 5% of athletic directors in the country.
Wow.
Hopefully Desiree is going to be in that league. And what she did at Missouri gives me a great amount of optimism. But with, like I said, those great resources comes great expectations. So at a place like U of A, right? Laura won a national championship at the University of Arizona as a player. As a coach, won a national championship, has been a head coach for 14 years, 17 years, if you count the 3 years she was an assistant. Embedded in the community, was imperative to getting that new golf facility at the Tucson Country Club. If Laura has a couple of bad years, she's got equity at the University of Arizona. We're not going to just kick her to the curb, right? Yeah. Signed a new contract extension through 2028, I think, last year. Texas, she got 3 years. And she got to win a national championship. And why I mentioned the athletic director that resigned, and again, I'm doing air quotes because he really was the coach, the women's golf coach that resigned. He was pushed out. He's won 5 of the last 6 Big 12 titles.
Damn.
He was the fucking coach of the year this year.
And they
pushed him out because they didn't make it to competing for a national championship. So with great resources comes great expectations. And I hope she succeeds like people over laundry, but it's a whole nother level of pressure and expectations when you go to a place like that.
Mm-hmm. But you know what? She's a 3-time Pac-12 coach of the year, or how many times has she won Pac-12 coach of the year?
You got it right.
In the conference that is loaded from top to bottom in women's golf. She's won a national championship. She's produced a number of incredible golfers who are playing professionally.
Yeah.
So
she's great, man.
I think she understands, this is a bear that I'm going to have to tackle, but at the same time, I got how many assistant coaches full time? They're going to help me recruit, and I don't have to do as much recruiting. We have this great facility. I'm in Austin, Texas, of all places. Like,
what is that? The biggest live music place and party place, right?
Oh, well, it's
Laura's partying. But
well, yeah. I mean, it's a booming city. Yeah, if you think about the last decade, I mean, Austin was already a big city, right? Surrounded around the University of Texas, but in the last decade or so, I mean, we're talking about these giants coming to Austin and kind of making it like the tech capital of the middle part of the United States, right? A lot of big names are living in Austin now, and it's kind of like, and not to diminish our city, because I love Tucson, but it's kind of like a rich man's Tucson in a lot of ways, right?
It is, man. I mean, being there, I had you guys know that I had a litigation there, and I was there a bunch over the last year, and it's an incredible city. It's got, the biggest corporations. I mean, the money in Austin is crazy.
Tesla's out there, right?
Yeah. Keep Google's out there. I mean, keep Austin weird is the motto of the city. And when I was there, I actually kind of went around the University of Texas in my free time. I went to the stadium, and guys know I was talking about High Corbett. I love High Corbett, but Arizona athletics needs to start really investing in this infrastructure. We are not falling behind. We are behind. And I went to that Texas basketball stadium. I love McHale, man, but it made our stadium look like a freaking high school gym.
And that's fascinating to me, because a lot of visitors who come to McHale, from around the Pac-12, they all come to McHale, and it's always amazing to me, especially it's great watching the folks who come down from Phoenix, the ASU people. And of course, there's students that cover the team, right? And it's always great to see the ASU students just oohing and awing, looking around McHale Center like, this is the coolest thing ever.
So that's going to be true of ASU. But the rest of the conference in the Big 12, is not going to be like, oh, McKale is awesome. Because you know what? All of those teams have great stadiums. And Laura, just kind of end this, will be competing in the SEC, not the Big 12. And SEC's got some great golf.
Florida.
That's right.
Florida, Auburn, Alabama. I mean, it's going to be, no offense to the Pac-12, higher quality golf today, maybe not in history than in Pac-12 was. Certainly maybe better golf than the Big 12. So she's going to be competing at the highest level, but my money's on her, man. She's a great coach and she's going to do a great job.
Yeah.
But we are falling behind. We have fell behind in our infrastructure, in our stadiums. High Corbett needs some things. McHale needs some things. And frankly, Arizona Stadium needs some things. I would just get rid of the top deck, but that's just me. Make it 44,000, improve the seating all the way around, and make it the hardest ticket in town. That's what I'd do. But
and that upper deck too is not. I mean, as a football guy, when you like to watch the play develop and you see the secondary and how the play unfolds, that's great. But getting to the seats, challenging. And when you're finally in there and you're looking down, you're looking straight down on the field
from the press box.
From the other side, for the top deck on the other side, above the zone of zoo.
So I used to go there with my teammates in high school when I was playing high school football. That would be where we kind of congregated, and then be all the other guys from different high school football teams. And so you get to know the guys, maybe talk a little smack. We weren't there to watch the game. We were there to socialize. But, I was talking to, I don't think I'm speaking out of turn. I was talking to Dave Hickey, our former athletic director, about cutting that off. And he's like, Ollie, there are so many people there that have had tickets there for 30 years that would be so mad. Really? And I'm like, so what?
Yeah.
So what?
Move them down a little bit.
Move them down a little bit.
I'm sure they will actually appreciate those tickets a little bit more.
You can't make decisions in life with the objective of pleasing everybody. Yeah. Otherwise, you're not making the best decisions.
If you want to please everybody, be an ice cream man. That's what Nick Saban said.
There you go.
Damn.
That's a really good saying.
If you want to please everybody, just be an ice cream man. But then you got the people who are like, I'd rather have frozen yogurt.
One of the best Van Halen songs of all time, by the way.
I'm no ice cream man.
Yeah.
I think
when I'm passing by.
What the Arizona Wildcats should do in the meantime, if they want to close off the top deck, they should take a page off the old Arizona Bowl playbook. Just advertise up there.
Just put banners, man.
Get banners up there. Have Rio Nuevo, HSL Properties, Nova Home Loans. There's so many.
Shitload of furniture.
Furniture. Get your furniture today. It's going to shitloadofurniture.com.
20% off. 20% off every Monday. So, that's
a shitload off the original price.
Well, let me ask you this though. What if you could do all that local, but what about a national? If you had a national sponsor, let's call Coca-Cola.
Which, by the way, go ahead. I have something regarding Coca-Cola.
Okay, but make
they don't
one huge banner across the whole thing that says drink Coke or have a Coke and a smile, or a Nike. Hey, Phil, let's just put the Nike swoosh up there. I know you're an Oregon guy, but I know you also like to sell shoes. There's so many things you can do, but the problem with athletics, and we have a new era, so I'm not going to comment on it because I think it's yet to be determined. They live in a bubble. They hear themselves say the same thing, and it's hard to think outside the box and be innovative and creative. And, I think what would be great with athletics when you reorganize things, and if you organize it more like a business, a CEO, just, managers, give them expectations, empower them to do their jobs and make decisions, and then hold them accountable to what their objectives are, right? That's how you run a business. But also, we have some of the smartest business people anywhere in Tucson. Okay. And why would you not have a formal advisory committee of business leaders in town and be like, here's 3 issues we have. Help us figure out creative ways to decide it. Now, what does that do? Number 1, you bring ideas to the table that maybe you didn't think about within that bubble of athletics. Number 2, you have now empowered some very influential, well-to-do people and made them part of the team. You don't think that they're not going to actually maybe even exert more effort in making our athletic department great, whether it's bringing in NIL or, building out facilities. So now you've made them part of a team. And what does it cost? It costs nothing. Give them a Arizona shirt every once in a while. If there's a Duke game, make sure like, hey, you guys, we have some tickets because of the time you gave. It's so easy. And it astounds me that it still hasn't been done.
So
too logical.
Logic in college sports.
Man,
it's not always a good mix.
Ed Sankey at SEC and is running circles around everybody else. There's going to be a power conference. This football is going to be separated, and they're going to.
Should have been that way from the get-go.
Either congressionally,
Pac-12.
I think
we shouldn't be having Pac-12 eulogy this week.
No. Well, I think we're going to have I predict. Here's my hot take. We're going to have Pac-12 reincarnation week.
Oh.
And
we're going to dance around a fire.
We're going to summon the Pac-12.
I wasn't thinking about dancing around fire, but you know, I think
now you are.
Again, using logic, football, maybe football separates. Maybe there's some congressional action that helps deal with the Title IX issues that would create. Money still flows into the universities, and maybe the other sports become more regional again, or maybe football and basketball separate and the other sports become regional. But there's no reason that women's and men's golf and tennis, they should be playing in what the Pac-12 was. Olympic sports, golf and all that. You know, the Conference of Champion things was a kind of an oxymoron in a lot of ways with the Pac-12.
Yeah.
But not when it comes to volleyball, golf, tennis, softball. It's still swimming. It still rings true. So I would not be shocked that we have Pac-12 reincarnation week or Pac-10 reincarnation week.
For Top 5 Tuesday this week, I ranked the top 5 best or most impactful Pac-12 sports programs.
Yeah.
And I put Stanford women's basketball at number 1.
Yeah, I saw that.
Because Tara Vanderveer, just a freaking legend, winningest coach of all time.
How many national championships?
A lot.
They've
gone to the Final Four a lot. It seems like every year Stanford's in the damn Final Four. So I put Stanford women's basketball. And remember, this is since 1978 when the Pac-10 was formed. So if we're talking about the 100+ years, you could really get into Oregon track. When you think about their influence with Phil Knight, Nike, what's his name? Prefontaine. Yeah. A lot of programs that you can include. But I put Stanford women's basketball, Arizona men's basketball, and then I put USC football
since 1978.
Since 1978.
So you put Arizona basketball over UCLA basketball?
But see, a lot of the John Wooden championships came before then.
But didn't UCLA win more championships in 78?
They won one more than Arizona? Yeah, one more than Arizona. And I think about the Steve Alford years, right? Sean Miller had his number, Tommy Lloyd now. I just think longevity wise, from 1978 to 2024, Arizona basketball was the premier program in the conference.
Fair.
With UCLA inches behind.
Okay.
So I got UCLA, and then I got UCLA men's basketball right behind them, or right behind USC football.
Yeah.
UCLA men's basketball, and then I put Arizona softball. And then, a lot of people commented and said, well, what about UCLA softball? What about Oregon track and field? USC baseball has won a lot of national championships. As a matter of fact, I think they have more national titles than any other team in the Pac-12.
Yeah, I think they're up there in the country.
Yeah. So, I could have picked any 5, but man, a lot of great programs in the Conference of Champions.
When you're picking 5 like that, it's
hard.
It's really hard.
Should have done 9.
I know. We really could have done top 9 Tuesday.
Should have done top 5 and a tie for 5th.
Yeah.
Arizona softball,
tie
UCLA
for
softball, Stanford swimming.
But I mentioned earlier that I was going to talk about this later.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
According to, I think, Beverage Report, or I don't know who the outlet is, but they run the numbers based on how much America is consuming for beverages. And Coca-Cola, still top dog for soda. Number 2, Dr. Pepper. Dr. Pepper has taken over Pepsi as the second most popular soda in the United States.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think I know why, but I'm not going to talk about it on the air.
The Dr. Pepper challenge?
No.
We'll my guy, Michael Lev from the Arizona Daily Star said someone is celebrating by chest passing a football through a tiny hole. They always do those Dr. Pepper challenges during the college football playoff.
Well, spend money to make money, right? wouldn't you say Dr. Pepper has had the most recognizable and best commercials of any soft drink company?
Totally.
The last 3-5 years when
They
it's
have,
around college football.
Oh, yeah, the little Dr. Pepper guy.
Yeah, a
Yeah.
little sweet.
Ooh. Huh?
Yeah, a little sweet.
Little sweet. That's his name.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like they've got all the commercials. It's like the one that I'm thinking about is like, we're leaving the conference. We're gonna miss you, but I still hate you, right?
Oh yeah,
right?
the Dr. Pepper college football ads.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's
We're losing another to the transfer portal.
Fanville.
Yeah.
Can I give a little? And if anybody's, for those of you that are watching, I urge you to, in the Tucson area or wherever you are, to buy Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop. Since we announced the Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl presented by Gin and Juice by Dre and Snoop, Gin and Juice sales have skyrocketed in Southern Arizona. It is now one of their number one markets for Gin and Juice. It's in the Tucson Convention Center. A bunch of restaurants have put it in. It's going to be at La Paloma. Gin and Juice is, and I went to Fry's and there was a huge Gin and Juice display. And I took a picture so we could send it to our partners. Guys, you guys are doing a great job, Tucson. With Gin and Juice, keep it up, because
It's a great drink.
It's actually really good and
refreshing.
We have a 3-year deal with a 2-year option with them, but let's make this Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl like in a deal that goes into infinity, right? Like this is a perfect marriage. Our town is electric right now. You should have seen our Blue Blazer meeting last night, because that was the first one since we announced. They're so excited. They were always committed, but everybody's so happy. And man, my one message to them is like, look, you guys, this is when we put 45, 50,000 people in the stadium. Like, this is it, right? Let's show our new sponsors that this is the best bowl game. I don't care about CFPB. This is the best bowl game in the country. Let's show everybody. And I'm really excited for what's to come. It's going to be fun.
And Snoop's going to be on the mic for on the broadcast for the CW.
He is. He'll be here for 3 or 4 days. We'll have the Snooper
CW.
Bowl. The Snooper Bowl will be
that.
the day before with the youth teams, and he'll be there with the kids. And
is that the Friday before then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly.
The Snooper Bowl?
Snooper Bowl, baby. And the youth football teams in Tucson, you got to engage the kids, right? To get the kids involved, the parents will follow, whether it's Sugar Skulls or whether it's the, Snoop Dogg Arizona Bowl. And the youth football leagues are like, they're all like, oh, everybody's competing hard this year to be in that Snooper Bowl.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, be careful what you wish for. Those teams in LA, pretty good.
Yeah.
I know for a fact, because our youth football team back in the day, the Tucson Eagles, we were undefeated. And our coach scheduled a game against the team from LA, and we met like in Yuma or something like that.
Oh, man.
And so we met halfway at this random
right on the
school,
borderline, and
we got worse. those kids from I think it was a team from Inglewood.
Oh,
bro, they worked us. We thought we were hot shit, and a bunch of 8 to 10-year-olds got humbled real quick.
Yeah,
now, you are not that good.
Yeah, I took some youth teams that were pretty good that I coached here in Tucson. We went to Phoenix, and they're like the Firebirds, which was the feeder school for the Scottsdale Saguaro. Somehow the head coach of Scottsdale Saguaro, his
Chaparral?
No, they ran. There's Firebirds or some other
Argonauts.
They ran that league too, and I'm like, oh, we're gonna play them, and it's this bowl game, and we're close in the kind of the first half, and then it's like they got 50 guys on their sideline. I got 22. Second half is just like,
jeez.
My guys are like, coach, these guys are bigger than us, faster than us, and there's more of them. And I'm like, yeah.
And you were like, tonight we dine in hell.
Yeah.
Spartans.
Yeah. There's some really good players on those Argonaut teams and Firebirds.
This is Tucson.
Okay. Don't put it past me that I didn't say that.
Yeah.
I gave, I think,
one. He may look like Xerxes, but he's Leonidas.
One game. Yeah. It's true. It's true. I think one game I memorized the speech from Pulp Fiction.
No, you didn't.
Yes.
The famous
and I will
one.
come down upon thee. I certainly did. Certainly did, man. Try to do everything. I think that one might have backfired because my son started laughing. We still won the game. We won the playoff game, but it was I did not help. Maybe I loosened the guys up a little bit. Not so tense.
Yeah, when you were done with the speech, he was like, "Hey, Dad, what's in the case?"
Yeah, exactly. That's not.
That's awesome. You gonna massage his feet?
No, it's Marcellus's soul, baby.
Yeah,
everybody knows. That was like they did a rewatchables. That's Bill Simmons, and they watch movies and they kind of talk about it. I think they did Pulp Fiction, and one category is what would you take from that movie? And one of the guys like from Pulp Fiction is like, I'd take the case. I don't know what's in it, but it was worth enough that that people were definitely willing to kill for it.
Yeah, and the code was 666.
I know. He was Marcellus. What was his last name?
Wallace.
Yeah.
Does he look like a bitch?
Yeah. That scene was tough.
I was gonna say Marcellus Wiley.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, San Diego Charger.
San Diego Charger legend.
Number 75. Marcellus Wiley.
Soul also in a briefcase.
Yeah, awesome. Played for the Cowboys too, right?
I think so.
Yeah,
yeah,
he did. He did. So you guys, on Father's Day, you guys wanted me to kind of. I'm not gonna tell you who. I stole this joke from a comedian that we don't need to talk about who it was.
Oh boy,
very troubled history for this comedian, but. He talks about
pudding pops.
Yeah, he talks about the, like a father like me. I've coached my son since he was 8 years old in football, right? And you're thinking about Father's Day, and it's like, coach them through youth. I coached my daughter too, but we're focusing on my son. And then he goes to high school, right? And I was coaching at Foothills, and I'm like, you're going to South Point. I'm not going to coach against you, so I'll coach at South Point. And man, just like you just think about that, and like think about like how much they progress, and like they get on the field and they're star player for the high school team. And then you know what? They're so good that they get a scholarship, right? And they go to, let's say, University of Michigan. They're playing in the big house in Michigan, Ann Arbor, and hundreds of thousands of people. And your son not only is on the team, but he wins the starting running back job. And it's on ABC, and the great Keith Jackson. Mama, no flapjacks for me today. I want to stay hungry for the Crimson Tide. Keith Jackson's on the mic. And your son gets a handoff in the first quarter, makes a juke, and he's off to the races. 50, 40, 30. He's going to go all the way. 70-yard touchdown. And the camera comes on his face in the end zone as he spikes the ball. And after all those years as a father, you put so much time in the backyard training. Maybe you got him, took him to all the camps, travel all around him. The camera's on his face, the biggest moment, and he goes, "Hi, Mom."
It's a damn shame.
And that's the difference between Mother's Day and Father's Day.
Father's Day apparently is like the 20th most celebrated holiday in the U.S. and Mother's Day I think is 3rd or 4th.
Yeah, well, mothers deserve it. I mean, we don't have to give birth. It's not easy. It's hard. So
I hear it.
I'm all for Mother's Day, but I always found it funny, at least talking to my friends. It's like Mother's Day. You know what? It's a special day for Mom. You take her out to eat a nice breakfast or brunch, right? Or you show up at 6:30 in the morning at snooze. And that's what your mom wants to do.
Yeah,
that's fine. Hey. And you're going to get a table.
Yeah,
right?
I'll be there.
You'll be there.
Every time.
Yeah. And then, it's like, okay, I got the kids. You go massage, spa, just have the day to yourself, right? As they should. We're all mama's boys. They're the best. And then Father's Day comes around. And I'm just telling you what my friends tell me. And it's like, okay, we're going to go to a nice breakfast or brunch. Maybe Dad gets a t-shirt, says #1 Dad with the Steelers logo on it or something like that. Who knows? Maybe a tie, And then it's like, honey, this is your day. You get to spend the day with the kids. And I'll just go somewhere so you guys can just be together. You just sit there and you're like, can't say anything because I'm being an asshole. How's that work out?
This is like a fair deal.
How did that come to be? It's like, I can't say I don't want to spend the day with the kids, but it's not a big deal. I guess, if you don't spend the day with the kids, so maybe I'll go play golf with my buddies, or maybe I'll go, who knows, do something, and maybe I'll go shopping at TJ Maxx and just kind of go through the
it's so foreign. He doesn't know what he would do.
I don't even know. I don't even know because you know what? But then at the same time, you get older, right? And my kids are like now older and they're on their own, 19 and 23. And it's like, I want to spend the day with you. Like, it's like, come on, come back, cats in the cradle. So, but I always thought that was very funny. It was always very funny. And it's really something you couldn't say, right? It's like, you couldn't say, but you couldn't say as a father, no, it's Father's Day. I don't want to spend time with the kids. But as a mother, it's cool. I find it interesting. I've always found it very interesting. And you guys you will too at some point.
We'll have a special.
I don't know if that's in the cards anytime soon.
We'll have a special overtime episode before Father's Day next week.
Okay,
should be a good one.
And you can bring in the kids.
No, man. You know what? I always have felt. Look, I think three of us get along really well. In fact, number one comment that I get is the chemistry in this room when we do a show, right? I think that the same with you. And I always felt like the one thing that I missed is I didn't get to know Justin's dad because I think me and him would really
Dude, I tell him that all the time. Yeah. Honestly. Like, I would have loved to have known Jerry Spears.
Yeah. So if, I know it's always an emotional time for you, Justin, and I'm not asking you to do anything you're uncomfortable with, but in the next overtime, when we talk about Father's Day, I would like to hear, speaking of top 5 list, top 5 Jerry Spears stories.
I got you, man.
That's what I want.
I got you.
All right.
I got you. A lot of great stories, that guy.
I'm sure.
A lot of great stories.
We can get our dads on the show.
You can make that a top 9 list, and I'm not going to let him give you shit for it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'll try.
One thing I always heard growing up, I work 6 days a week. I wake up at 3:30 in the morning, and my brother will tell you too. Anytime my dad wanted to make us like feel bad for acting like a jabroni, like, you think I work 6 days a week for this? Waking up at 3:30 every morning, working 10-hour days. I got plenty of stories that we'll talk about.
I cannot.
And honestly, there's kind of like a little teaser for next week. My dad's like the Forrest Gump of like LA street culture. Oh, my dad got tatted up by Mr. Cartoon.
Yeah.
Who's like one of the most renowned LA tattoo artists. He was also like friends with Tookie Williams's like little brother, the founder of the Crips.
I want all this. This is what I want. I want this.
Yeah.
Maybe I want the Forrest Gump of LA.
Yeah.
As the great Mike Luke would say, that's what's called a tease.
That's what they call a tease in the business.
I like it.
All right.
Speaking of tease, after the show, I'll be heading over to Circle K. Do you like Circle K, Justin?
Shout out to Mike.
Come on, Mike. I love you. Yeah.
All right.
That's going to be great, though. We can try to get Maurice on the show.
Oh, my God. That could
not
go.
Mo.
I'll ask if you guys want me to, but that could go off the rails, but we'll see.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
All right, guys. I got to get out of here. U of A football's tweeting a bunch of stuff. I was about to close my laptop.
Yeah. You're really out of here.
See you guys. All right, guys. That is it for Spears and Ali Overtime. Hit us up on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify. And thank you to our great sponsors, Tucson Federal Credit Union, the Volpe team at Nova Home Loans, and Right Way Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. See y'all next week.
Yeah.
Much love, boys.
Tune in next week for the Forrest Gump of LA.
I love it.